You want dual USB ports in the back of your car or ute? I'm going to show you how I did it with mine. I've got the factory stock standard one there, but because I have 2 kids and if we go on long drives, I don't want their iPads to die. You might have another reason for it, but I can have both their iPads plugged in and charging and they won't die. Let me show you my setup. You might do your setup slightly different to how I've done mine. This just might give you some ideas. Leave a comment below of how you might do your setup, so that way you can help others do their setup if they don't want to do it my way. So first thing you want to do is buy yourself one of these, or 2 of these, or 3. Or however many you want. These are 12 volt to 5 volt DC converters. So this is how I run my power. You can run it differently. I have mine powered all the time, but you could run it off an auxiliary switch, so that way they only power when the car's turned on. I don't use mine that much, so I'm comfortable doing it this way. So what I've done is, these are my relays for my light bars. So what I've done is the 12 volt constant feed coming into the relay. I've just piggybacked off that, and that supplies my 12 volt feed to these USB 12 volt to 5 volt converters. I'll now show you where I've run the cable. Excuse the messy car, but it comes in under the footwell, underneath, and then goes down the side of the door, goes back, and then comes down and runs up behind the seat. Now just keep in mind that this is just the positive, this is not the negative. I'm going to show you how I've mounted the converters and how I've done the negative. You can see here, this is where the power cable runs in, and then I have it splitting off to my 2 converters. Now these things are only tiny, they're a bit hard to show here, but they're like half the length of my finger, they're barely nothing. So I just have them cable tied to this rail that's back here. Yeah, so they're just cable tied to this rail that's back here. Only tiny. Sorry, for the negative, I have it going off to this, and I'll show you where I've mounted that. What I did with the negative was I took out one of the seat frame bolts and mounted it to that. The reason for that is it goes in here, then because it's going through the body, it comes out here and then back up to the negative terminal. You don't need to run a second wire for your negative wire. You just mount it to a component that's mounted to the body, so that way you have a negative returning back to the battery. Now I just have these 2 tails that just sit here, and I can tuck them away if I want, but they just sit out there, and I can plug any USB device into them. This may not be the exact setup that you want, but this works for me. Leave a comment below how you would do your setup, or other ways that I could improve my setup. Thanks for watching.